Hey, Big V here. Today we're talking teams, and specifically today we're talking about how to stay laser focused on your business priorities. One of the biggest challenges in starting a business is literally figuring out what to do next. So many business owners get ready to get started and they spend months and months and months thinking about and getting ready to do something great. And by the time they open, they're out of money, they're out of time, and they don't have the time to actually generate any sales. I encourage you not to be that person. I remember seeing Zig Ziglar when I was a young man in high school. I won the Happenings Book Sales Contest in the Deca Club. I got to go to the University of Utah and I saw the great Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar told a story about going to his grandma's house. And he went to Granny's house and he said, "Granny, it smells so good. What are we making today?" And Granny says, "Ziggy, we're making biscuits." And he says, "Well, they smell so good. Can we have one now?" And she says, "No, Zig, they're fixing to rise." And he says, "I know, Granny, but I just got to eat them." That's how he talks. He talks with that amazing Southern accent, which I wish I had. And Zig's grandma says, "Now, Ziggy, you just gonna have to wait till they rise, and then we'll put them in the oven." Well, Granny left the kitchen and Ziggy looked around and nobody was paying attention. So he took those biscuits that were fixing to rise and he put them inside the oven. When he put them inside the oven, they just cooked. Granny comes in, she says, "Ziggy, where's my biscuits?" He says, "Oh, Grandma, I could not wait any longer. I was so hungry and they smelled so good. I couldn't wait for the biscuits. And so I put them in the oven." She says, "Well, let's pull them out and see what happens." And as she pulled them out of the oven and turned them upside down, these flat little hockey pucks roll out on the counter. And he says, "Granny, these don't look like your biscuits. Why are they hard hockey pucks?" She said, "Zig, they got cooked into squat, fixing to rise." And then he told the story about starting a business. And he says, how many of us spend all of our time getting ready to do something great and we never actually rise to greatness? How do you stay focused as an entrepreneur and as a business person getting started in your business so you don't get cooked into squat, getting ready to do something great? Are you tired of thinking about it? Tired about, I'm going to do something great soon? Are you tired of going home to your spouse who's saying, "Did you make any money today?" And you say, "No, but I'm getting ready." It's time to get focused. At Workman Success, we spend a tremendous amount of time thinking about building our business plan and then building it. But a lot more time is spent actually executing it. So what I'd like to share with you today is I'd like to share with you how to stay focused on the right things. I'm going to give you our one-page business plan. You can download it free. And then I'm going to give you an agile process where you take all the ideas from your plan and you execute them step after step after step. All you got to do is stay to the very end of the video. I'm going to give you the link at the end, and then you can download our one-page business plan and the agile strategy process. So let's start with a one-page business plan. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is a simple one-page business plan. You notice there's nothing on the back. It's just a one-page plan. Now, how can you build a business plan in one page? Well, it's very simple if you understand that every business, just like a home, has two creations. The first creation is the mental creation. That's where you build the blueprint. And the second creation is the physical creation. That's where you actually build the home. Now, think about this. How great of a home would you have if you showed up on the job site and you said to the excavator, "Dig me a hole." And they go, "Well, what are we going to build?" You say, "I don't know. Make it pretty big. I'm going to do like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Just dig a big enough hole so I can do that." And then the framer shows up and you say, "Now, frame me out some rooms. I don't care really how big they are. Just kind of put them together and we'll move. Once we get it done, we'll sheetrock it." What is the chance of this house turning out what you really envision if you don't take the time to actually build a blueprint? The same is true with your business. If you take the time to build a blueprint, to do your one-page business plan, to think strategically about what you want your life to look like, and then you execute that plan, you'll end up with a beautiful place to live or a beautiful place to work. So let's start with a business plan and let's ask the very most important question, the first question. And that is, what do you want your life to look like in 2 years? 2 years from now, what do you want your life to look like? What do you want to be doing in these 5 areas? Your family, your faith, your friends, your fun, and your fitness. Or your food. You can use those two interchangeably. I know I do. So family, faith, friends, fun, fitness, and food. Those are the 5 things. Now, when you define what you want those to look like, then I'm going to ask you a question. Where do you have to be financially? How much money do you need to be making in order to have those things in your life that matter more? than money. Once you've determined that and you know how much it is, the first page of the goal worksheet is your first year's financial goal, and I want you to write that number here. So whether it's $100,000 or $200,000 or $1 million, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever your number is, I would encourage you to just double it and then put that number down and work hard at going after your double number. We have limiting beliefs based on our experiences, and I think that if somebody actually believed in you and pushed you and coached you beyond what you believe is possible, you might find that there's greater opportunity than you're even aware of, and that you're capable of accomplishing so much more. I personally believe that you can. Once you determine your income goal, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to break down what we call are the 4 pillars of income. Here's how the 4 pillars work. The 4 pillars work like this. In order for it to be a pillar, you have to be able to show me an outline of how that pillar will generate 100% of your income goal. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you want to make $100,000 and you make an average of $10,000 every time you sell a house. So you need 10 houses sold in order to generate $100,000. So when we build 4 pillars of income, each of those pillars has to be broken down into a detailed format of how you can generate 10 homes out of each pillar. Let me give you an example. One pillar might be, I'm going to work my database or my sphere of influence. I think it's totally realistic. The average person knows 200 people well. 10% of your database is going to move every year. That's 20. Half of those use you. That's 10. So you can have one pillar being your sphere of influence of your database. And then you make a list of all the things, your action plan worksheet, that need to happen in order to stay at the front of the mind of everybody you know. So the moment they think of buying or selling a house, they think of you first. Another pillar might be new construction. And that is, you're going to focus on doing all of your marketing to generate new builders who will list their properties with you as a listing agent. And so you go and you join the National Builders Association. You set yourself up on a automatic text messaging of any time a new contract is taken out or a new development or a new plot map is submitted for approval. So you get notified of that. So you then have a marketing strategy to reach out to builders who are building houses. And then you have a program designed to help them understand why you're their best agent to list that property. Another one might be for sale by owners or expired listings. Using a company like RedX, you can get access to for sale by owner listings, expired listings, notices of default. There are literally dozens and dozens of ways to generate 10 transactions a year. And all you're allowed to focus on is what? Remember the number? 4 pillars. So we do our goals for the year. We create 4 pillars of income. And then with each pillar, you'll notice right here that we've put how many units it's going to take at each pillar and what the target income is out of each pillar. If it's 100,000 in each, you put 100,000 in each. And then down here, you'll notice the action plan worksheet. This is where you put each of your pillars into a prioritization channel. If you watch the video on how to prioritize, which we'll put a link right here in the bottom, you can go back. I've done a whole video just on the art of prioritization and how to put the right things in the right order. Well, one of the greatest ways to prioritize is to go into your business plan, look at your 4 pillars, and those become your top 4 priorities, because we lead with revenue. We lead with dollar productive activities. And so we're going to build our plan for the geographic farm, for the working with builders, for the for sale by owners and expireds, for door knocking, for open houses, for notices of default, or working with investors. So many different pillars in real estate. Once you identify your 4, you're going to create a list of everything that needs to be done, and you're going to go after it. I want you to think about what's happening here. Instead of having one pillar to generate 10 houses, you've got 4. What if one of your 4 actually hits at 100%? You make your 100 grand. What if a second pillar hits at 50%? Now you're at 150. What if a third pillar hits at 25% of its goal? And now you're at 175. And what if the fourth pillar hits at 25%? Now you've doubled your 100,000 and you've made $200,000. What if all 4 pillars were executed at the highest level, and instead of making 100,000, you make 350 or $400,000? It happens all the time. The concept I use is it's like shooting arrows at a target. If you only shoot one arrow, there's a good chance you won't hit the bullseye. But when you have a quiver filled with arrows and you shoot one after another, you have 4 chances to hit the bullseye, and your business is going to take off. The reason most people fail to achieve their goals is because they don't set them high enough. If you're always hitting your goals, folks, you aren't setting them high enough. I think you should always set your goals just beyond what you believe is possible, and then do everything in your power to go and hit that goal. 4 different ways. So download the one-page business plan. I want you to fill it out. Make sure that you put your real why on there and talk about the 5 things that matter most to you. Why are you doing this? What is that core motivating value? how much do you need in order to create a lifestyle that you really deserve and that you really believe is possible, and then execute your plan using the Agile. If you'll go through these processes and you'll follow them day after day after day, you're going to find that every day you move a little bit closer to accomplish the things that you at one point believed were impossible. We have clients that have gone from $200,000 to $575,000 to $1.1 million to $2.1 million to $3.4 million in year-over-year growth, and you can too. And it all starts with the exact business plan I'm giving to you right now. So download the one-page business plan. It's right here at the bottom of the video. Just download it, download the Agile, click on the link, go watch the video on prioritization, and you're well on your way to launching your business and staying focused on the things that matter most. And those are dollar productive activities.